Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad that you are here today. Today has been another Monday, another getting my act together Monday, as many of you also probably do on Mondays, just all of the things to reset the house and get all of the things back in order and back going again. And yes, my hair is crazy because I've been keeping the house all day. So if there's somebody on here that's going to say a not nice comment about my hair, well, I would wonder what your hair looks like after your housekeeping all day too. It starts good, and then maybe I'll show you. I think I did show you in one of the videos. When you have really long hair, extra long hair, you got to try to do some different things to get it up. So I like my hair up, and I don't like the weight on the back of my head. I like it on the top of my head for when I'm working and doing housework. And yes, you can hear it in my nose and in my head that I am still recuperating from the cold that we had, that our family had. It started in June and it went through the whole family, and we are still I still got a couple kids with some swollen glands, and I have some swollen glands from it, and our immune systems have not fully bounced back yet. So we are still working through that, but mainly we're not sick, guys. We're not sick. It's just that every once in a while you just get a day where you're just wiped out again, or it's just in your head or your nose again. So anyway, it's a process, as many of you know who have dealt with the cold. It's a process. But anyway, today it is early evening. I have some navy beans over here in my Instapot. My Instapot has been going. I put some navy beans in there with some different spices, and they are cooking up, so they will be beautifully, wonderfully ready for dinner. And then over here in my dehydrator, all of my mushrooms are dehydrated. I have to clear that out and get them in jars. And then it is smoothie time here. I'm getting the smoothie ready for me and my husband. I'm going to drink mine, but his is going to go in the fridge. And then for dinner, we also have some of our lovely grass-fed ground beef. I cooked that all up earlier, so that's just keeping warm back there. And then we'll just have a salad. So that's dinner tonight, guys. Beans, beef, and a salad. Super simple. A lot of times people say, about meal planning and what you do to meal plan and things like that. We eat simple whole foods here, and I tend to cook like my grandmom cooked years ago, where I kind of have a rotation in my head of things that we eat, and it's just basic plain food. So some nights I will pick quinoa, or I'll put quinoa in with soups and chilies and things like that, or beans. I rotate the different types of beans. There's black beans, pinto beans. We have garbanzo beans, chickpeas, also known as chickpeas. We have navy beans. I have my red lentil pasta that I also love, and we just rotate it like that. Rice. And then what I also do is I batch cook. So I cook in bulk, meaning I always cook enough that I have a leftover meal for another night. And my family really does not mind leftovers, so it works out really good for us to do it that way. So I don't have to cook every single night either. So that works out good. And then generally speaking, the children are the ones that enjoy making the desserts, so I kind of leave that up to them. Once in a while I make a dessert, but mainly they like to make the desserts. And for tonight's dessert is already made. We are going to have strawberry ice cream. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to make my favorite smoothie. It is a pineapple banana smoothie, and I put in it my own mixture of plant-based protein in it, and 2 scoops of that, and then 1 scoop of my greens from Sunwarrior. These are the Sunwarrior beauty greens in the pina colada flavor, and they're really good. Even if you just put this in water and drink it just plain, it's a really great way to get your greens. To that, I also add just a pinch of these Dulse Flakes, and these are a natural source of iodine from seaweed. And I add just about a half a teaspoon or so of turmeric powder, and sometimes if I'm feeling really like I want to splurge, I add in some flax meal. So frozen bananas too. So here we go. I'm gonna make up our smoothie. So good. So good. I can tell you that your body will literally crave these greens if you drink them consistently for about a week or so and put them into your daily schedule. Your body and your energy levels and everything is going to crave this. And I'm telling you, this will give you much more energy than any cup of coffee on the face of the earth. This is going to give you that good, healthy energy and vitamins that your body needs. All those superfoods, all of that green powder in one drink. And I did say earlier that you can just use a scoop of those greens, the pina colada greens, or the other greens that I linked below for you before, the Amazon brand. And you can just put them in water too and just drink them. But the pina colada, if you're new to greens, you will probably enjoy that in just water, and just add that to your daily water regimen. And it's just an extra way to get more greens. More greens in your body means a healthier, better you. You're going to feel better. Your immune system is going to be working better. It's just going to be all around a better situation. So with that being said, I am going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to have a little bit of salad before everybody else comes home. I'm also going to tell you this. I got these new shirts on Amazon, and I absolutely am in love with them. They're 100% cotton. They're kind of like a gauzy type fabric, but they're not see-through, so they're really nice and they're really super comfortable. I think that they're pretty modestly cut. And I like the shoulder, the sleeve length and everything in them. And I'm going to show you a little trick, a little hack of what I did. So, you know, I'm big on my linen or cotton skirts. There's some of them are linen cotton blend skirts. I'm saying skirts. Aprons. I'm big on my linen cotton blend aprons. Well, what I did was, see my apron down here? What I did was I took my apron with the overall straps. I sewed it down the back. I sewed it up closed. And then it serves as a skirt. It also serves, if you wanted to wear it like a jumper and just put a t-shirt underneath of it, or even a long sleeve shirt underneath of it, you could do that. But what I did today was that I didn't wear it as a jumper, I wore it as a skirt. So my overall straps are underneath of here, and I put my apron on, what is sewed up the back, and I just put this shirt on over top of it. And I am really, really happy with the comfort of this. There's nothing touching my waist. It's nice and comfy and loose. And I'm kind of liking just to mix. I like to mix things up. If you haven't caught that already, I like to keep my mind busy and mix things up. So anyway, that's just an idea for you ladies out there who have bought those aprons in the past, or maybe you haven't bought an apron yet, but you can use it as an apron or as a skirt. So that is a pretty awesome hack, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna get on with my salad. I'm treating myself a little bit here. So what else have I done on Mondays? I know I talk a lot about Mondays and resetting my week. One major thing that I like to get done on Mondays that does not happen over the weekend is laundry. Generally, I do not do laundry over the weekends. I don't do a lot of house cleaning over the weekends because my husband is home, and I try to keep it to a bare minimal. I'll just like wipe off the countertops, load and unload the dishwasher, just some bare bones minimal. But I don't like to do any major house cleaning or laundry or house chores on the weekends because I like to be just available and enjoying our family and be around for him. So good. We had the best romaine lettuce this spring.
and into the early summer, and it was amazing. So one of the big things that I do is laundry, and I've been hanging our laundry now, trying to reduce our electric bill and just get into a more basic type routine. So I hang up our laundry every day, and little Miss Grace helps me do that, and it dries super fast out there when it's like 105 degrees. So it works out really good. Then I don't have to pay for the electricity in the dryer. So laundry usually gets done. Just a basic tidying up of the whole house is what happens on Monday. I ask the little kids every day to make their bed. I tell them, Mommy's going in to make my bed. I need you to go make your beds. And they go in and they try their best to make their beds. And I'm not perfection about it. If they make an attempt and they try to just pull up the covers and do that, then that's good enough for me for right now. They'll gain more skills with that as time goes on. And I tell them to pick up everything off the floor because Mommy has to, I say, you have to get it ready for vacuuming. That's what I tell them. I said, and go make your beds and pick up everything off the floor, so get it ready for vacuuming. And to make it easy for them, we keep very, very little toys in their rooms, so they don't have a lot to pick up. It's very, very easy and quick for them to pick up. The boys have Geotrax trains in their room, and they have some animals, some like heavy duty plastic animals to play with, and then they have a couple stuffed animals and a lot of Legos. They do have a lot of Legos, but what we did with the Legos is we made the bottom of their clothing closet into a Lego closet, so the Legos are allowed to stay out in the bottom of the closet, and that really helps to have a place where the Legos can be and they can work on things, and it can be on the floor, but it's inside the closet. So, and they're little enough still that they don't mind kind of keeping the Legos in the closet. They do bring the Legos out and play with them in their room if they can have the main part of the Legos that they're looking through in the closet, and that helps. So when it comes time for vacuuming, you're not there like cleaning up tons and tons of Legos. So that's been really helpful. And I basically go through the house and tidy and clean anything that I see that needs picked up, and reorganizing and that kind of stuff. And then tomorrow, Tuesdays, seem to be more of my cleaning. When you clean, that's Tuesday. Tuesday is floors. I usually vacuum all the floors in the house and then mop whatever hard surfaces I have. And then if I get into some other kind of project, it's just kind of bonus. Like if I decide, okay, I'm going to wipe down all the ceiling fans in the house, or wipe down lighting fixtures in the house, or clean ceilings or something like that. Might be like one bonus thing, but that's pretty much it for Tuesdays. And then that brings me to Wednesday. And Wednesday is when I can actually maybe tackle a project that's kind of above and beyond just your main, basic maintenance of your household. And then that will bring me to Thursday. And Thursday, I have some flexibility there in my schedule, and it's also the day when my husband comes home from work, and then he has long weekends every single weekend. So he always has off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the family. So that's just been a huge blessing. So my Thursday late afternoon when he comes home is like how my Friday used to be. So I try to make sure that everything is wrapped up, all the major housework is done, laundry's done, everything's put away, and the house is all ready to go for into the weekend when we just can kind of really scale back and just enjoy being home. That's my week in a nutshell. So now I have 3 big half-gallon jars here of mushrooms,
And the thing that I love about dehydrating mushrooms and keeping these on hand is, one, I can buy them in bulk when they're on sale. I can just go ahead and buy up a whole bunch of them. And then number two is that, you know, when you buy mushrooms and you bring them home and you put them in your refrigerator, and you're always playing that game of like, I know I have mushrooms in there, I got to use them up, we're going to have to use them quickly, because, you know, everybody's had it happen to them that you didn't use them up quick enough, and then some of them start to go slimy and yucky, and then you're like, oh man, now I got to throw out some of these mushrooms, and it's just a big waste of money. So having them, what we usually do is we've been buying them fresh at the grocery store, using them up like that night or the next night, and then the remainder of them I just go ahead and dehydrate. And although the texture is a little different when they're dehydrated and then they reconstitute back into a recipe, I don't mind it, because we do still have fresh mushrooms at least once a week right now, and these are still really, really good, and I love the payoff of just being able to relax and use them whenever I want to and not have to rush and be forced into making something with the mushrooms. So with all that being said, I'm going to add these over to my pantry. So here it is. Here is my new little pantry area. I might be adding some aged chicken wire to the back of this cabinet just to fill in these the back panels here where I took the glass out, but I'm not sure, because I'm really, really loving the convenience of just being able to do this and not having to open up a cabinet door. I can just reach right in here and get them just like that. So that's really been handy, and I don't know, I'm kind of getting spoiled with it, so I don't know if I'm going to put any chicken wire on there or not now, but I do prefer it to the glass that we had in there in the past. So this is just going to be my dry goods pantry, and this is just a kitchen hutch that actually it came with the house. When we bought the house, they decided to leave it here, and I use it for storing all of my homeschool stuff in the bottom of this whatever you want to call it, hutch. And then we store our eggs in here for right now, all of our water glass eggs, and then up here are all of my dry goods and ingredients and things like that. So I've been really enjoying that. But you might be able to find one for yourself. Just look around, maybe on Facebook Marketplace or Let Go or Craigslist, and you might be able to find one as well, and just paint it and make it whatever. I used to have one in our old house that was a lot smaller, but I called it my coffee bar, and I just absolutely loved it for the purpose of coffees and teas and that kind of stuff. It was just super great for that. So you can have one and invent it for whatever purpose you need it to be for in your house too. So anyway, well, hey there. I wanted to get a chance to talk to y'all a second about comfortable, practical clothes while you're in your house and you're just doing your homemaking or just your day-to-day chores and just things that you go about on a day-to-day basis. So some things that I like to consider when I'm thinking about clothing for just day-to-day in the house, that kind of thing. Number one, I want it to be comfortable. I want it to be something that I can relax in, I can curl up on the couch in and be comfortable, something that I can move about freely and easily in. If I want to jump on the treadmill for a few minutes or a half an hour and get some exercise in, or if I want to be doing any kind of housework or chores around the house, I want it to be comfortable and easy to move and work in. So that's number one. Number two is I like to have fabrics that are as not synthetic as possible. I say that because ideally I would like to have fabrics that are cotton or linen or some type of cotton or linen blend. I would say wool when we lived up north, but wool and Texas don't necessarily go together as best friends. So a cotton or a linen, it just seems to be so breathable and so lightweight and just a really practical fabric for, especially if you live in a hot, humid climate like we do. So when I was talking to you and sharing with you about these new shirts that I got, and I will leave the link for them below, they meet all of those standards. They're a cotton, they're 100% cotton, they're durable, they're comfortable, and yet they look really nice as well if I go out somewhere. I like to have clothes that if in a hurry or in a minute I have to change a game plan and I have to run into town and do something that day, I don't really necessarily need to get changed to go and do that. So something that would work for just the mundane things around the house, as well as if I needed to go to town, I don't have to necessarily change my clothes. So the other thing that I look for in fabrics is that they are durable. So cotton and linen, again, that meets those standards, but I'm not opposed to if I find something that has a little bit of a synthetic in it. I'm not totally opposed to that if the price is right and it makes it affordable for me. And I like to keep my wardrobe super duper simplified. I've narrowed it down to some different basic colors that I really like, just like some earth tone kind of colors is what I feel like I appreciate on myself. And so you might have colors that are your favorites, or maybe prints or things that you really like. Maybe you really like plaid shirts. I have a girlfriend that really loves her plaid shirts, and I have a couple plaid shirts, but they're not really my favorite things to wear. Or maybe you're somebody who really likes floral fabrics or something like that. I think many of these things come with age and time and figuring out what works for you. You might not live on a farm. You might not have all of the factors to consider that I do. You might not be taking care of little children during the day. So all of those things come into play. Maybe you're a nursing mom, and in that situation, there's a whole nother element to your clothing and your wardrobe where you need to be able to be accessible throughout the day to nurse a baby, and you don't want to have anything really cumbersome on. So that might be something to consider as well. And so like I said, I just try to stay really casual and simple when I'm around the house, and just something that I feel like I look respectable in and I feel good about myself in. That's another big thing. I can feel a certain way if I'm wearing clothing that I put it on and it makes me feel like kind of like a dish towel, or just like a rag, or just kind of weighted down and just not good. Get rid of that stuff. You do not need that stuff. And clothing really does affect how we feel about ourselves as well. So just trying to put something on that makes you feel like you're put together, that you're comfortable, you're respectable, you're presentable, but yet you're not dressed up. You don't want to have fabrics that are so dressy that they're getting caught in stuff, they're getting ripped, they're getting torn, they're really lightweight fabrics that they get snagged on things. That's not really practical in a homemaking situation. Or you have dresses that are so long that you're trying to like pull them up off the floor. That really that's really just not a practical thing, I think, when it comes to being a homemaker. So I hope some of these things were a blessing to you. I hope that this maybe could help you hone in on your style and what you like. We all have our own styles that we feel good in, and what is your style and works for you might be different for somebody else. What I feel really good in and really comfortable in might be totally different for somebody else. So just giving yourself grace and time to move through these different seasons of your life, and whether you're a young mom or an older mom or transitioning into a grandmom, these are all just different stages. Our bodies change, our shapes of our bodies change, and how comfortable we want to be in those different phases changes. So just giving yourself grace to kind of continue to feel it out and just see as you go what you like, and always being willing to step back, reevaluate, simplify, and learn. Always be learning what makes you feel good in your home. So. And I am making a mushroom and potato soup tonight. So I am cooking down my mushrooms here, cooking these down, and then I'm going to be adding in, hold on, I need to turn this off. Then I'm going to be adding in my mushroom gravy that I had stored up in the refrigerator from the other day. So I have 2 quarts and a pint of that. So I'm going to be adding back in my mushroom gravy, and then probably adding in some cream sauce to it, some cashew cream sauce to just like thicken it up and make it good. And if you have an allergic reaction to cashews and you need an alternative, you can also do potato cream sauce. You can do it with potatoes, or you could do it with oats. So we're going to give some variations on that because I know that's an issue for some people. And I forgot to tell you that we also stocked up on mushrooms when we were at the grocery store. So I'm going to be dehydrating all those mushrooms that are over there. I got 4 large containers. They were on discount, so yay for that. Going to be dehydrating them up because we've been loving having our dehydrated mushrooms. So without further ado, delicious potato and mushroom soup, and it looks fabulous already. Everything was already cooked and just so easy. If you wanted to beef up the protein in this, you could add a meat of choice, or you could add some quinoa would be really good in here. But honestly, I just love the simplicity. You can see how beautiful this is, of just the mushrooms and potatoes, and I added green beans to it. And like I said, I already had my mushroom gravy made up from the other day, so that made it really simple. The only thing I really had to cook was my mushrooms. I used 2 big large containers of mushrooms and cooked them up with just a little soy liquid in those first, and a little onion and garlic powder. You can just season this to taste, but what a beautiful, colorful, delicious meal. We're gonna have this with some salad, and this will be our dinner tonight. And I said I was gonna thicken it up and add like a cream sauce to it. You could, if you wanted to, add a cream sauce to it, but I'm thinking it looks just fine. I don't even think I'm gonna add a cream sauce to this. So yeah, you can see it's just absolutely beautiful. Okay guys, so one more thing that I'm going to be adding to my delicious soup is I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of this mushroom powder blend, and you can find this on our website. It is chock full of so many different functional mushrooms that do so much to help boost your immune system and just take care of you hormonally, and just all of the things, just overall general health and wellness. There's so much that they're learning about mushrooms still, and it's just wonderful. So anytime that I can find a place to add that mushroom powder in, I'm going to be adding that in, especially when you have things like soups and
gravies and things like that, that is the perfect time to add in your mushroom powder blend. So I've also been adding it in to my morning coffee, and you can barely taste it at all, and it's just so much better knowing that your body isn't going to totally crash with that crazy caffeine crash in a few hours, because you're getting that superfood and all of those super great vitamins and nutrients from those mushrooms. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to add in my mushroom powder.
Tricks and
dinner is over, and just like every evening after dinner, I just use some jars if we have leftovers, and I just fill them up and put them in the refrigerator. Again, they stack vertical, they're clear, so nothing goes to waste. You can see and be reminded of what you have in the refrigerator, and they're reusable, which I absolutely love. You're not wasting plastic containers. So I am going to jar up this lovely soup and put it in the refrigerator for later this week, maybe even as soon as tomorrow evening. And some of you might want to know how I made my mushroom broth, but I just took my dehydrated mushrooms, put them in my Instapot with some water and all of my different seasonings that I wanted to season them with, and I just pressure cooked them like that, and it made up a really nice mushroom broth. And you can go ahead and can that or do whatever you want with it. So I wanted to have some veggie stock that I made like that and some mushroom broth that I made like that, and then it's just so easy. All you have to do is just take your flour and you can go ahead and really simply make a gravy. And I could at this point can this, but I'm just going to be using it for leftovers. So we made up 1, 2, 3 and a quarter jars. Put some lids on these and put them in the fridge and enjoy them later this week.